What's going on, YouTube? Now, this video is for all my LG fans out there. All the people out there that still love LG, even though they've left the smartphone market a couple of years ago. You know, I'm talking to you right now, okay? Now, anybody else, of course, you can watch this video, excuse me, as well, but just want to go back a little down memory lane here. The LGV30. Now, this actually was my favorite V device up until the LGV60. But I kind of still like this one a little bit better in certain ways. But of course, that's, the LGV60 is a better overall device. But this phone here, this is a classic. Seriously. I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and the back. Nice, simple design. Fingerprint sensor on the rear. It's thin. It's light. Look at that always on display. Nice and bright. I mean, the always on display actually is bigger on this device than it is my LGV60. Don't know why that is, but it is. Okay. Now, this is a 2017 device. Now, I don't know if anybody out there right now still has this device and maybe is still using it. I don't know. But if you are, you still have a great device, honestly. Now, of course, doesn't have any software updates, no security patches. But like I said, now I keep saying this, that stuff don't matter to everybody. Okay? Having the latest version of Android does not matter to everybody. Now, if the software that comes straight from the manufacturer start giving you major issues, then that's a problem. Then you may be thinking, it's probably time to upgrade. If the phone is lagging out, slowing down, it's glitching, you're having a lot of issues, then you may need to consider upgrading your device at that point. Now, when it comes to security, I don't mess around with all kind of crazy apps and put all kind of crazy stuff on my phone, opening it up to viruses and all that mess. I don't. I usually deal with very secure things, when I'm making, money transactions, things like that. But even in that, when it comes to your when it comes to your internet, you could always put a VPN on your device and it'll encrypt your internet usage. So you could always put a layer of security on your device. You don't have to worry about necessarily, oh, I got to get the latest security patch. That's just nonsense. You don't have to do that. Okay. I've gotten older phones like this that I could still do plenty of business transactions on, very important ones, and don't worry about that my phone does not have the latest security patch. Now, I'm not going to convince a lot of people of that. They just feel as though they just have to have the latest security patch or their phone is not secure. I'm telling you, it's not true. So, but anyway, to each his own. So, this phone here, I still love this device. Honestly, let me see. What am I doing here? Okay. Go back to where I had it set for. All right. Okay. Now check this out, y'all. A 6.8, a 6 inch, excuse me, Quad HD POLED display. Now, the thing that really confused me about the LGV60, why did they go from a Quad HD display to a 1080p display? And the battery life is not an issue. The battery life on this device is still great. I can literally get into the next day with this device. And it has a small battery, considerably smaller than that of the LGV60. But this thing was very energy efficient. When it came to battery life, I always got great battery life on this device. This also was a device where, when I went on vacation and stuff like that, this was the main device I used to take all my photos and videos. And, I would take some with my Note device, but the photos that came out of this was so much better than my Note. I mean, these photos and things that I took with this phone was so crystal clear and bright, and the dynamic range was so beautiful. I actually thought that I took them with a professional camera. That's how awesome they were. And LG has always been really great when it came to photos and videos. Now, along with this beautiful Quad HD display, okay, 537 pixels per square inch. So the display is just absolutely beautiful to this day. Beautiful. HDR10. You got the always on display I showed you about. You got face unlock. Let me see if I can get it to work behind the camera here. No, it's a little harder to see me behind the camera. But I'll tell you right now, it works and it works fine. There's no issue with the face unlock. It still works good. And you know what else I like about it? Now, see, you got a little bezel up there. Got a little chin at the bottom. No big deal. You know why? Because there's no stupid notch. There's no intrusion on the display. Even though, you know, you got a little thin bezel around the side, it doesn't look as bad as the LGV60. The LGV60 display don't look nowhere near as good as this. And I'm talking about overall, the PPIs, the fact that it's a Quad HD display, the fact that you just got a little bezel at the top and the bottom, but it's hiding the front-facing camera. And that's all they had to do with the LGV60 instead of putting that stupid notch on there, which I absolutely hate. Now, fingerprint sensor still works very well. Let me show you. Now, it's not super fast, but it works just fine. And it's included, like, it's the power button also, so there's no buttons on the side of the device at all. The only thing you got on this side is the volume rockers, but there's no power button. That's probably one of the things I didn't like about this device. I didn't like that the fingerprint sensor and the power button were the same. As you can see, it still works. It's not super fast like today's devices, but it works fine. It's accurate. You know, it takes a little longer. I mean, you got to keep in mind it's a very old phone, but look at this display. It's just beautiful. Snapdragon 835. Check this out, y'all. 3.5 millimeter headphone jack with a 32-bit hi-fi quad DAC. That sounds amazing. Love that. IP68 water and dust resistance on this device. Yes, absolutely. Wireless charging, fast charging, 3,300 milliamp hour battery that I said that still to this day gives me great battery life, which is crazy, but it still does. Expandable memory up to 1 terabyte. Remember those days when phones like this had everything that you could want in a device? This is definitely one of them. 4 gigs of RAM, Bluetooth 5.0, 64 gigs of internal memory. Now, of course, that was long before they started going 128. Screen recording, NFC, FM radio, camera, 16 megapixel standard lens, optical image stabilization, laser autofocus, a 13 megapixel ultra wide, 5 megapixel wide on the front facing camera. Now, no 4K at 60 on the rear cameras, but you do get 4K at 30. And of course, 1080p at 30 and 60, and 1080p at 30 frames per second on the front camera. But I'm telling you, these cameras are amazing. Now, the biggest issue I had with this phone was this was a device where they removed the IR blaster. I didn't like that because the IR blaster was on the 2 previous V devices, the V10 and the V20. I hated that they removed that. And also with this device also, no dual stereo speakers. That was like probably the biggest problem I had with this device, because the one down-firing speaker is very tinny and it doesn't sound very good at all. It really don't. It's pretty pathetic. You know, I had to install some type of speaker booster app just to give me a little more volume, but the sound is still tinny. You can't fix that. But they screwed up when they didn't put dual stereo speakers on this. But other than that, this phone really, to me, was almost flawless. Seriously. Just no dual stereo speakers, and they removed the IR blaster. Other than that, I love this. This was my favorite LG device by far. Now, I've had the LG G4. I've had the V10, of course, the V20, the V30, the V60. I didn't like the LGV40. I didn't like that one at all. So let me say it again. So the LG G4, the V10, the V20, the V30, the LGV60, the LG Wing. And I did check out the V40. I just didn't like it. Now, I never checked out the V50, but I did not like the LG V40 at all. So I've had quite a few LG devices. Luckily, I've never dealt with the boot loop issue. Luckily for me, I didn't have to deal with the boot loop issue. And I know some people are saying they're having issues when it comes with the LGV60 with the charging port. I don't have that issue. I haven't had that issue, but I use wireless charging most of the time. Now, those of you that's out there and you're having issues with your charging port with your LGV60, I encourage you to go get yourself a wireless charger. Get a fast wireless charger and start using the wireless charger to charge it instead of keep using the charging port. Okay? All right. So this was just a quick just wanted to go down memory lane. I still love this device. I'm definitely going to keep this device. I'm still going to use this device. It's an AT&T variant. Now, I haven't stuck my SIM card in there as yet. I may not be able to use it. I don't know because it's 4G. I don't know. I'll see. But I still love it. The thing, the build quality is just beautiful, nice, slick design. But this display and the battery life is still great. The performance is still pretty good. It's not like super fast like today's devices, of course not. But it's fast enough. It ain't like it's, super slow or anything like that. And I don't expect to be as fast as the newer devices, but it's fast enough. Okay? Now, everybody, like I said, I still love this device. I'm keeping this device. Just those of you that still have this, let me know down in the comment section if you're still using it or if you still have one. But I still love this device, and I really think LG dropped the ball when it came to the LGV60 when it comes to the display. I just wish they had done it the same way, and especially kept it at Quad HD level and then no notch and then thinner bezels around the side. That would have been cool, but it is what it is. The LG Wing actually gives me the kind of display that I wanted. They have thin bezels at the top, bottom, none on the sides. But anyway, this was just a quick, just wanted to go down memory lane. For those of you that LG fans out there, do you remember this? Was it one of your favorite devices out of all of the LG V phones? Now, for me, like I said, I've had 4 V series phones. V10 was my first, V20, V30, and now the V60. And the V60, is the best. It's a powerhouse of a device with a big giant battery, awesome speakers, awesome cameras, great, got a great display. Not as good as this one, but a great display. And it runs super smooth, super fast. No issues with that device at all. Headphone jack, expandable memory up to 2 terabytes. So I love that phone, but I still love this one too. But that's it. Thank you for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. Do me a favor if you can, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future. All right. Hope you guys out there staying safe, staying well, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.